Hi, I'm Sheilaa Hite, world-class astrologer, tarot master, spellcaster, medium, and all-around magical being. And I'm here today to talk to you about something we've all been talking about, the new and improved full moon lunar eclipse happening on Tuesday, which is tomorrow. New and improved? Well, I don't know about that really. Let's put it this way. Intensely intense. How's that? Full moon lunar eclipse. So let's get started. That's really the aspect of the week. That's the biggie. It's a full moon. Full moons are always intense. That's the nature of their being. Lunar eclipses are always intense. Actually, eclipses of any kind are always intense. And eclipses or full moons in Taurus, involving Taurus Scorpio, definitely intense. Well, this full moon, total lunar eclipse, is Taurus Scorpio. It involves one of the nodes, the north or the south. This involves the north node, which means it's a new way to be. It's bringing in a new way that we need to be, a new way that we need to learn to be, and how we need to express ourselves to be the best person, to live in the best world we can. So Taurus is about many things, including value, especially self-value, your value, how you value your life, your world, yourself. Scorpio is about deep healing, and always deep honesty, and of course, transformation. That means that the old that does not work, no matter how much you want to cling to it, that old is going. It's not that old has got to go. That old is going. So we now have the eclipses. Now, a solar eclipse brings something. Brings a new perspective, it brings new people, it brings new opportunities, new things. A lunar eclipse removes something. That means it removes an old way of looking at things, or old relationships that are no longer viable, or old things. This is a lunar eclipse in Scorpio, Taurus, meaning whatever it is you value, you need to look at, and you need to take your hands off to see if it flies away. Yes, it's time to let go of what does not work. Let go, actually, of what you think is holding on to you, but what you're holding on to. So I'm going to occasionally take a look at my notes, because this is pretty deep. So we'll start with, how about the total lunar eclipse is going to be in Taurus, which is exactly conjunct. That is to say, together with. So the moon will be in Taurus, together, conjunct, the planet Uranus. The moon is already changeable. It's emotional. Uranus is change, and unexpected, unpredictable change. So you've got the moon together, conjunct with Uranus. You've got the full moon together, conjunct with Uranus, involved in a total lunar eclipse. So take your hands off the wheel. Take your hands off. Just do it. If you are not actively driving, take your hands off the wheel. And by actively driving, what are you doing? Maybe you just need to sit, meditate, breathe, slow your breathing, regulate your breathing. Maybe you just need to be and allow the universe to do its work. This is an interesting time in our lives. In most places in the country, we are, when I say the country, I mean the U.S., we are voting on Tuesday. So at about 6:32 a.m., just before the polls open, big doings. The eclipse is exact. So that full moon is operating. Do make sure that you take care to take care. If you've got something you need to say to someone else, maybe that's something you need to say to yourself. If you've got something that you know you need to do, maybe you should look and say, does this value me? If you are not working for the good of everyone, then you are not working for the good. If you are deciding that they, whoever they are the problem, perhaps a mirror is your best accessory at this point. So remember, there's a full moon and total eclipse at the middle of the sign, so around 16 degrees of Taurus. That means that the sun, opposite the full moon, is at about 16, it's also at 16 degrees, but Scorpio. So this is heavy-duty surgery time. So karmic issues are going to be brought up, karmic issues are going to be dealt with, and karmic issues, surgery time, are going to be removed. You've got to let go of what no longer supports you, because if you don't, it will be removed anyway. So there are many things happening. I mentioned before that this is a lunar eclipse that is connected to the nodes. The south node, all of the old things, all of the things that we've done, all that we know about ourselves, that comes with the south node. The north node is what we're supposed to do with our lives, how we're supposed to grow, how we're supposed to evolve. Well, this north node, this is a north node eclipse, and what that means is that you need to open up to the newness that's being brought to you. You need to open up to the availability of how much grace and goodness there is in the world. Grace and goodness, that is really important. Grace is not violent. Grace is not destructive. Neither is goodness. So how much grace and goodness are you willing to admit you need to be heading for and grabbing onto? The north node is insisting that you pay attention to that. So we think, my God, that's it for the week. Well, isn't that enough? Yes. Now, also on Tuesday, tomorrow, November 8th, in addition to there being a full moon, Taurus, Scorpio, north node involved, lunar eclipse, there's also the sun, the life force, our identity, together with the planet Mercury, the planet of how we gather and process information, the planet of how we think and plan. And while the sun is going to be together with Mercury, it's also going to be opposition Uranus. You remember Uranus? Uranus is the planet of, oh my God, did that really happen? Unpredictability. This is all happening at once. So what that means is we've got Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio rules secrets, hidden things, sometimes things that are hidden from ourselves. Well, they're not going to be hidden any longer. Some big realizations will happen. Some big expositions or whatever the word is that I'm searching for. Some big things will be exposed, and they'll be exposed to you. They'll be exposed to your world, and you won't be able to deny or hide those things any longer. This is actually a good thing. It may not feel like a good thing at the time, but it is a good thing. We need to let go. We need to open up so that we can bring to our light. We all have an internal light, and we need to really bring our true value, remember Taurus is involved, to our own light, so that we can see clearly who we are, and we can see clearly what we offer and what is offered to us. So let's look at going forward. Let's look at the possibility of a completely new way of not only being, but a completely new way of receiving information and of delivering information, a completely new way of being the light you were created to be. So on that note, I will say until next week, be good to yourself, be good to other people. Remember, we're not in this alone. Take care. Bye.